say that this is the land of the free, where freedom is whatever a man chooses it to be. And so is the law. Wesley Hardin, Billy the Kid, Jesse James. They all made their choice, and I've made mine. It's time to settle up.
Povídačky. To nekecám, fakt?
Banks and trains from Colorado to Montana. Among them was the Sundance Kid, and that murderous hombre I was tracking, Roscoe Bob Bryant.
Were you a part of that giant Pinkerton posse after the Wild Bunch?
No, boy. A circus like that would have slowed me down. Besides, I wanted Bryant all to myself. I'd heard about a large shipment of gold being transported to Wilcox, Wyoming on the Overland Flyer. I figured the Wild Bunch would likely hit such a treasure, and by God, I figured right.
Nerad skáču z Silasovi do řeči, tak proto to řeknu až teď. Alo amigos, Turiky, vítám vás u dalšího Call of Juarez, Gunslinger. Tak se to pustíme, jdeme přepadnout vlaka, jestli bude zpoždění jako tady v Česku, tak si myslím, že ho nestihneme, ne? Tak jsme ho stihli, protože tady nějaký debil odpálil most. Opatrně vylezeme nahoru, no jo, ten train nějak rozpadá se. Tady to nebyl kvalitní vlak od českých dráh, který jezdí pozdě, ty vole. Ani Japonci ho nedali. To padáš? No, padá. No, hezky spadl ten vláček. Tady ho vidíte, celý svý kráse, šíleně kouří. Jako... nevím co, jako člověk, který si myslí, že je temelín. Já jsem levej Ricky zas. Čau koní. Tady ten tunel připomíná Call of Juarez jedničky, ty vole. I tady zatáčka. A vím, že tady to bylo zabugovaný. Cože ono to... Mě to vážně připomíná Call of Juarez jedničky, to je hrozný. Takže jumpni.
I found the gang, but in order to find old Bob, I needed to fight my way forward past a whole pass of desperados.
Vyrazíme. Já neotevírám dveře, protože když vyrazím, tak to mám takhle zpomalený.
Inside, any way I could, I made my way towards my prey.
Well, what about the passengers?
It was mostly a freight train, as I recall. There were no passengers aboard that day.
Čekali, že jsi takhle dobrý střelec, jo?
I am not fond of heights, but I was too busy dodging bullets to worry about falling to my death. Odds were I was likely to die that day anyway, so I was determined to take down as many of those bastards as I could.
Lehni.
At times it was like shooting ducks in a shooting gallery. The only difference is these damn ducks shot back.
Jak to ten sud nebouchl? Já střílím do toho sudu a myslím si, že bouchl, on nebouchl. To je kvalitka, ten sud. Jo, to zastřelím po staru. Taky nezastřelím po staru, protože ten... To je ten, který jsem trefil do hlavy, tak nechcípnul, OK. Chcípl. A taky chcípl. To je ten, to je po nich všech. Aha, už vím, proč ten sud nefunguje. A do prdele, to jsem nechtěl. To bych nebyl já, kdybych neskočil dolů, že jo. Takže znovu. Kudy? Myslím, že tady to nejde to otevřít. Aha, tudy. Jsem blbej, ty vole. Tak může přijít nahoru. Dobře.
I kept hoping the law would show up and give me a
You mean
hand.
like that giant Pinkerton posse that I read about? Did they come riding in, guns a-blazing to help?
Jak je to komiksově udělaný.
From the Pinkertons? No, son. I had to fight the wild bunch all by my lonesome, as usual.
Who the hell is that? He's out of his mind! Take cover! Retreat! Retreat! He's killing everybody!
Do píče. Broky. Dobrý. Tyhle, už jsem se řekl, že nepostřílím všechny. Vyraž. Dobrý den. Kurva. Ty vole, jak na mě 6 dvoma revolverama, jsem se mám posral, vole. Ven
My
mi
guess is
odpoví to.
those dime novels didn't portray this as it happened, did they?
Dobrý den, debílci.
Only a few stragglers were left.
Dneska vás tady vítá Ricky už v šílení Sej mi debílka. To je výborná nová minihra. Debílci, vy na mě nabíháte a já vás všechny rozpříním tady tím kulometem. Teď jste blbí a nechápete to, že kulomet místo střelných zbraní je fakt. Střelní zbraní je to největší kalibr a vy to furt asi nechápete, už je to než po vás blbečci. Ještě někdo? Jo, ještě vás tady kurva hodně. Tak už nejste.
Once I silenced all those guns, I went searching for my nemesis, determined to finally have my justice. But the only survivor who welcomed me was George Flat-Nosed Curry.
Who is he?
The fastest gun in the gang. Right after Sundance, I mean. And Kid Curry, and maybe Elsie Lay. Though some folks might dispute that.
Ty důležité v té hře jsou vážně výborný, tyjo, mě tak baví tady v té hře, snad jediná hra, kdo mě baví duely z Juarez. Tak teďka jsem byl pomalu jsem kliknul a navíc jsem ke konci, jak se tomu říká, minul úplně terč. Tak znovu.
On that very same day, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid decided to leave the Wild Bunch behind and decamped for South America. They ended up living down there for many years, but I'm sure you already know all about that.
Jedna třice do pekla. OK. Tak pokračujeme.
I tried to find Bob Bryant, but it was as if he'd disappeared. Sometime later, I heard the Wild Bunch was back together. Kid Curry escaped from jail, and now he was running the whole shebang. So I took to their trail, as I was still in pursuit of my brother's killer and hoped that he was back with him.
That Kid Curry's kinda crazy, ain't he?
Anyways, I tracked those boys to a camp right outside Parachute,
Hello.
Colorado. Being outnumbered, I didn't bother with a warning shot. I just started taking those bastards down.
Vedle kamaráda.
Old Bob wasn't among them, neither was Kid Curry. I could sense him close by, however, plotting something nasty. Just needed a clue as to their whereabouts.
Jo, já musím najít tam nějaký plánek. Jo, aha, tady to.
And I found one. A map with their bold plan clearly marked. This time they were fixing to blow up a train trestle. Property of the Union Pacific. The plan clearly indicated how they were fixing to undermine several of the weakest wooden supports.
Na to vrhnem, ty vole.
Kid Curry was considered the wildest of the wild bunch. It was said that he fathered 85 bastard children, though some say it was only 5. Kid Curry had bragged to a whore how he was going to rob a train heading to the U.S. Mint in Denver.
Aha, oni to na to používali neopracovaný dřevo, to určitě jsou normálně stromy, že jo? Jenom jim uřezali.
The bridge was rigged with dynamite, so I decided I'd best be careful confronting those bastards.
Škodit bomby.
A moment later, I saw a ladder that somehow had escaped my attention.
Oh! Don't you blow us up now. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing.
It appeared the kid had found a number of new recruits to bolster their ranks.
Who the hell's that? Hey, you!
Guess there's always desperate men willing to trade their lives for stolen treasure.
What happened next?
Well, having removed the first bundle of dynamite, I decided I might as well remove the other one. But the wild bunch did not take kindly to my presence and attempted to blow my head off. Once that was done, I figured I'd find my way from there.
Tohle střílím jako mouchy. To přežil hajzle? Ty vole. To vypadá jako ode mě. Odstradil jsem další kur. Skleba. Jsem nejlepší příběh překročení, tak si to udělal, že jo? Oh shit. Ještě někdo? Asi ne. Pořádně si čuchni k tomu revolveru jako
Actually, there was a fourth charge impeding my progress.
Dále běží. Oh fuck.
Once I removed it, my path was pretty clear.
Čeho kolik vydrží ten hajzl. A do piči. Dobrý. Vedle hajzle. Hlava. Je po nich, že by? Myslím, že je. Jdeme dále. Dalším. Ty vole.
So I proceeded onward. I realized that that way just wasn't going to work. I needed an alternate path forward.
Jsme nahoru. Jdu správně? Když nevím, jestli jdu správně. Asi nejdu správně, že jo? Jo, tudy mám jít. OK. Teď jsem šel špatně. Předtím, wow.
Luckily, I found a cave, and as I made my way back to the bridge, I saw something that concerned me. It was a long burning fuse, and it was moving fast as hell. I had to catch it.
Tak kurva.
The burning fuse was so damn quick, I had to run like the wind. I almost had it, but no. Thought I was gonna have a coronary when I lost sight of those sparks. My heart was pounding like a sledgehammer. I knew that failure meant boom. Then, finally, at the last moment. Whew. Of course, I was successful, or clearly I wouldn't be talking to you folks here today. Naturally, I removed the last dynamite charge. Well, it was a touching reunion. But by this time, I was thoroughly exhausted and dragging my ass, and I'm not a young man anymore.
Patrně po dřevíčku nahoru. A do prdele.
Finally, I found those boys. Or more precisely, they found me.
Kdybych to neposral, bych nebyl mrtvej. Esko, Ačko, Včko, Esko, Ačko, Včko. Konečně mám už ten revolver taky legendární. Au. Aha, on to přežil. Ačko, Včko, Esko, Dčko, Esko, Včko. Ještě to někdo přežil? Nebo ne? Tam jsou dva. Tak jak se neschovávej, ten jde jednoduše se střed. Tamhle. Někdo? Wow. Kid Curry. Po něm. Tam nám to jsou. Došly mi dynamity. Kurva, ty vole. Ty vole, já si to nevšim. Tak ještě jednou. Aha, aha, aha. Aha, já jsem si spavnul nějak divně, ty vole. Jsem se obnovil. Nějak, kde jsem byl zmatenej, teď to přiběhnu semhle. Jeden. Dva.
Eventually, I brought that tunnel down. That's when I met Kid Curry himself. He had decided to stop pussyfooting around and deal with me personally.
Jak si vás prostě nechodí. To prostě stojí, ty vole.
As fast as he was, I was just a bit faster. And as he lay wounded, I demanded to know the whereabouts of Roscoe Bob Bryant. He shouted at me. Is that what this is about? Bob went with Butch and Sundance to South America. You ain't never finding him. Those were his last words.
No, okej. A pokračujeme.
So, Bob Bryant got away?
I knew I'd never find him in South America.
What about the other killer?
Yeah, you kind of glossed over that one.
Well, I found Jim not long after my showdown with Ringo. At the time, he was riding with the James Younger gang. Did I neglect to mention that?
Jesse James.
Jesse James? The greatest outlaw who ever lived?
Jesse and his kin rode with Quantrill when he raided Lawrence, Kansas, and killed near 200 people, boy.
Nothing great about that.
And from there, him and his brother went on to rob banks and trains from Kansas to Missouri.
Which is why there was such a rich bounty on their heads. 40 grand for both of them, dead or alive. That's one hell of a payday.
Okay. Tak, jdeme na to.
I confronted them as they were robbing a train. Bullets were flying at me from every which way.
Tak
But I knew I'd
pokračujeme.
have to fight my way forward if I was gonna find this Jim.
Ty vole. Tak jo, OK. To je použiju pušku, když si nechtěl spolupracovat, vole. No, rád to zbrokovící prostě.
Now wait a second. Now, how'd they stop this train in the first place?
Well, the James boys were experts at this.
Nejlepší Jesse James
They hopped the
prostě.
freight train, having heard there was a big payroll in the express safe. So, I hopped the same train.
To naskočil taky. To je.
The James Younger gang was decimated after that little fiasco they had in Northfield, Minnesota.
Tak kudy má, ty
So
vole.
Jesse needed more men and took on the killer I was after, along with a host of others. I was hoping to find my man and put a bullet in his head.
Oh, today.
Climbing around that train, I must have swallowed 100 damn bugs before I reached
James
that.
Younger gang pulled the first train robbery west of the Mississippi.
Sounds like you hold them in high regard.
Everyone knows they were the most famous outlaw gang ever.
And you took them all on by your lonesome. Again,
Ty vole.
I'm finding this all a little hard to swallow, friend.
Well, maybe you need to wash it down with some whiskey. By the way, did I mention that that train was flying down those tracks like a bat out of hell?
Ano. Co je tam nahoře? Všichni tam není. Ani nahoře asi nebude. Nevidím ho tam. Fuck. Dynamit. Dobře, to bylo od oka. Vyrazíme dveří.
Anyway, excuse me, Ben. Where would I find the gentleman's facilities? Suddenly I have an urgent need to drain my one-eyed snake. Well, I've had more than a few drinks, and I've been sitting here for quite a spell.
Right through there. Let me show you. I never heard so much malarkey in my life.
You think he's bullshitting us?
You don't think he's Silas Greaves?
I think he's just some old drunk looking for some free liquor.
I don't know, Jack. I think I believe him. You don't think he met Jesse James?
Boy, you gotta be kidding me. That story makes no sense at all.
Jack.
I mean, you gotta be 2 bricks short of a load to believe that cock and bull story.
I don't agree.
Jack, lay off the bar.
But you seriously think that tired old man went toe-to-toe with Jesse James?
Well, that's better. Did I mention that this Jim was married to the infamous Belle Starr? Of course, I didn't learn that until later. Anyway, I made my way forward the best I could. Around the sides, over the roof. At some point, some son of a bitch saw me and shouted out, "It's the damn Pinkertons!" It's the damn Pinkertons! Now, I never worked for that limey cocksucker, but I guess they assumed I was one of his assassins.
Ty vole, neviděl, co tam dva. Já jsem to jedno sejmul. A nevadí, v horce každý může splíst, jo. Pojď se. To nebude střílet po mně už?
Those evil bastards firebombed Jesse's mother's house and killed his stepbrother. So it's no wonder each and every asshole on that train wanted to be dead.
Everybody's always mistaken for somebody else, aren't they? Why is that?
Dobře.
Don't rightly know, Jack. I'm just telling you how I remember.
I bet you are.
I came across a flat car piled high with logs and had to come up with a creative way to make my way forward.
Tak pokračujeme dále. Ty vole. Je jich tu hodně. Kurva. Ty vole, fakt. Už tady ta část mě začíná srát pomalu. Protože fakt mě zabilo na 2 půlky. Dělej. Já si vezmu asi pušku. Já jsem ho neviděl, on mě taky neviděl, stejně mě zabil. Fakt hezký, ty vole. Zase mě neviděl, vole. A tady ten má jako co ty vole, ta kulky. Ten má speciální kulky nebo co? Že já ještě nemám rudu a hned dostanu tu poslední šanci před smrtí? Wow. No vážně ostrý kulky. To ručičky tě trefím. Oh, jo, teďka vidím dobře. Zřetelně jsem ho teďka viděl. No jo. Opravdu.
It was a rickety ride and quite precarious.
Aspoň má si o tom někdy řeči, ty vole. Takhle se tady tomu si říká zásah ve skoku, ty vole. Kdyby vás to zajímalo.
Right about then, I was attacked by some asshole on a Gatling gun.
Yeah, seems like you run into a lot of them.
Asshole?
Gatling guns.
Yes, I did. Now, I don't remember how I took it out. It was either a bullet or dynamite.
Where would you find dynamite?
Does it really matter, Jack? You're messing with the flow of the story here.
Se. Dobře si asi. Ty vole, to mám mezi oči. Hezky. Hraje, rozstřílej si lasy. Ještě někdo tam je? Myslím, že už ne. Skoro. A jenom pár lidí. A ty už jsou taky mrtví.
I was looking for Jim and shooting any son of a bitch stupid enough to get in my way.
Nikdo není.
And that included Jesse James himself.
Tady jeden, druhý, třetí.
There sure were a lot of men determined to die that day.
Dejte si lasy, dobře ty.
It was then that Jesse detached the express car from the rest of the damn
Au.
train.
Tak ještě jednou. S tom špatně vyhnul. Oh shit.
I could see Jesse waiting for me, fixing to kill me so he could get away with all that money.
You had a showdown with Jesse James?
Of course he didn't. Everybody knows that Jesse was killed by Bob Ford.
Yeah. Jesse went out like John Wesley Hardin. Coward shot him in the back of the head.
Guess it doesn't matter how far you run, does it, Ben? Your past always catches up with you.
Tyhle, do
I didn't
péra
kill
jsem ho
Jesse
trefil.
James. Just wounded him bad enough to convince him to hang up his guns.
What about that Jim fella? What happened to him?
I figure he was up front with a gun to the engineer's head. That bastard slipped away again. I'll tell you how I got him. But first I need to wet my whistle.
Bez odpuštění.
After my showdown with Jesse, I continued to track his brother, Frank, and that son of a bitch Jim.
No nic.
I followed those bastards into the high mountains as
Tady
they
to
were
už
going to
asi
ground.
ukončím. Takže děkuji za sledování, nezapomeňte dát like a odběr a napište mi nějaký úplně nasraný komentář a adios.